All right, welcome back. Okay, we're gonna skip 16-4. It doesn't really lend itself to a short little video like this. Also, I think we have better ways to do that. We'll kind of roll it into other things. But I wanna talk about measuring angles briefly. Okay, there's not gonna be much of this on the test, but it is important to know how to do it. Okay, so I've recreated a protractor, which is an angle measuring device, if used properly. So basically, you have a half circle which measures 180 degrees, and on one side you'll have a 0, and if you start your angle on that side and go to the other side, you'll have 180 degrees there. Okay, but not all angles open in the same direction. So it also works backwards. So if you start your angle on this side and go this way, that's 180 degrees from that side. So what you'll find on a protractor is that you will have two sets of numbers. Okay, one set of numbers will be if the angle starts on this side, and the other set of numbers will be if the angle sets on that side. Now, measuring an angle is actually a really, really simple thing to do. And in years past with students, they haven't had a problem measuring angles. The problem they've had is figuring out which of the two numbers to use. Okay, so I'm gonna draw an angle on here in a moment, and I'll show you exactly which set of numbers to use, how to think your way through to figure out the best example, and a couple other things. So you'll notice on the outside here I have a 0, 45, 90. Regardless of where you start the angle, 90 is going to be in the same spot. 135, 180. That's if the angle starts on this side and opens this way. On the other side, again, I have 0, 45, 90, 135, 180. That's if the angle starts on this side and opens this way. Okay? So I'm going to draw an angle, and then we're going to look at it and use a couple different ways to figure out which measurement it is. Okay? So on your protractor, oftentimes you have a little dot, and that's where that little dot you put directly on top of the vertex of your angle. Okay, if you don't put it on the vertex, then you're not going to get an accurate angle reading. And then whatever this line is, whether it's the 0 or 180, you'll put the ray flat to that. Okay, let me do my best here to see if I can draw straight lines. I've not been very good at this thus far, but we'll see. Okay. All right. There's one of the rays. All right, perfect. So, let me see. Can you see that? This can be a little darker. There we go. So I've got this angle over here. All right, it is opening on this side and it comes to here. Now, you'll notice, if you can see this clearly, it's crossing at 45 and 135. Okay, how is it both? It is not both, but it depends on which way the angle opens on your protractor. So, first things first, let's just look at it and think logically for a second. 45 degrees, 135 degrees. What is the angle measurement that we use to kind of base acute, obtuse off of? Right angles. So our right angle would be here. That's 90 degrees, okay? So comparing it to my right angle, I'm gonna ask myself, is it larger than 90 degrees or is it smaller than 90 degrees? Well, if it starts here and ends there, it doesn't even make it to 90 degrees. In fact, it only makes it halfway. So just using that sort of number sense, thinking through it, it can't be 135 because 135 would be greater than 90 degrees, meaning wider than this right angle here. Okay, that's just looking at it and kind of making logical sense of it based on what you know. Now, let's take a look at, again, the mechanics of this. So if this is the bottom, this is my start. If you're counting, where are you going to start? You're going to start at the lowest number and work your way up. 1, 2, 3, and so forth. When you're counting your angles, Well, 0 is clearly lower than 180. So this angle opens up this way. It does not open up that way. So in doing so, it's going to open up this way. Therefore, and the numbers on your protractor, they're not just like randomly put there. The numbers on the inside will be the same angle, and the numbers on the outside will be the same angle. So if I'm using the inside number here, between these two numbers, 0 is on the inside. Between these two numbers, 45 is on the inside. Therefore, this is a 45-degree angle. Okay? And there you go. This is really simple. You just have to understand where, from which side, the angle is opening. And that tells you which number set, which numbers on your protractor is more appropriate to use. And again, you got to have that common sense, that number sense tingling. This is clearly not, it's not equal to 90 degrees. It's not greater than 90 degrees. So therefore, whichever number I choose needs to be the smaller than 90 degree number. So if it's between 45 and 135, it's very obviously 45, okay?